Hello and welcome to SportyTrader. We're here to talk about Super Bowl 60, where the Patriots will take on the Seattle Seahawks. Today we're going to talk with our NFL specialist, Sam Cox, to get a breakdown of the match beforehand. Stay tuned. The Super Bowl is almost here, and we're breaking down the biggest matchup of the year with one of our top NFL experts, Sam Cox. Hey, Sam.
Hi.
Thanks for being here today.
No problem.
Yeah, Sam, you've covered the NFL with SportyTrader all season. What's caught you off guard about this matchup, and what's played out exactly as you expected?
I think it's a good question. I mean, I think with this NFL season, it's more of a case of what's not caught me off guard. I don't think anyone expected this. I can't remember the exact stat, but it's the longest odds Super Bowl match in forever, basically, isn't it? I mean, I think the Seahawks were 60-1, and the Patriots were like 100-1 to make the Super Bowl at the start of the season, win the Super Bowl perhaps. Drake May's, I've got to be honest, I think Drake May kind of saw this coming. Not a 14-win season. I thought it was going to be good, and the schedule obviously helped. Seattle, I was nowhere near this high on.
Yeah, I don't think anyone saw Sam Darnold joining the Seahawks and going straight to the Super Bowl.
No, I don't. No. And if they did, then it's impressive if they saw that coming because, yeah, Seattle looked like a mediocre team. New England looked like a team, to me anyway, that was on the rise, but like was not going to beat Buffalo to the division.
Right, exactly.
And then this ended up happening, and I know things have fallen in their favor a bit, but it's still incredibly impressive.
Well, let's get down into the match preview specifics.
Yeah.
So, how do you see the Super Bowl matchup playing out? And by that, I mean, like last year in Super Bowl 59, we expected a tighter contest, but the Eagles really ran away with it. Do you see this game staying close, or could you see the Seahawks or Patriots run away with it like Philly did?
I definitely can't see the Patriots running away with it. I think we're going to get a higher scoring game than most people seem to expect, actually. So the line's 46 points for the total, which I'm a little surprised by. I know, obviously, New England had a low scoring game last time out, but that's sort of, you have to write off in the blizzard.
Yeah, it was snowing. You're in altitude. It's totally different.
It was not a real game, what was happening. It was a lot of fun, but it was not an NFL game. And they're two great defenses, which is obviously a huge thing. I think that New England's going to have to throw the ball to try and keep up with Seattle. I don't think New England can stop this Seattle offense.
Yeah.
In which case, it's like Drake May's either going to have to find his regular season form, or maybe Seattle runs away with it. I kind of think we're going to get a high-scoring game. I'm both hopeful for that because last year, being a Brit as well, you stay up very late to watch a game that was wrapped up inside, a quarter and a half more played. Like, I'm not too pleased with that. So I'm optimistic we'll get, probably going over the total and like at least a couple of touchdowns for New England. I can't see them getting blown away, even against this defense.
Yeah. Well, we definitely like to see a tighter game than last year. At least having one score for each team by halftime, at least.
That would be nice, yeah.
So from a betting perspective, what's one thing that bettors might be overlooking in this matchup?
I think sneakily, Seattle's offensive line.
Oh, really?
New England's pass rush up the middle, especially. Williams and Barmore are two of the best interior defensive linemen. Might be the best interior defensive line in the league. Seattle sneakily struggled a little bit up the middle. And I think the way you slow down this Seattle offense is you have to put pressure on Darnold and see if you can get him looking uncomfortable again. Get him looking like he did towards the end of the Viking season last year. That was a 9-sack game, if I remember right. That's what you want to get, is you want to have him you've got to have him taking hits, basically. And I think if they don't do that, he's just going to pick them off because their receiving talent is so good.
Yeah.
But I feel like that bit's not been talked about. There's been a lot about May's struggles. And obviously Darnold's coming off a really great performance. But I don't think it's guaranteed he's going to be able to do that again against this New England defense side. If they can really put pressure on him early, just see if they can get him, spooked a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got to get pressure on the quarterback for sure. So in terms of some player props, they're obviously huge for any game, but the Super Bowl in particular. What's one prop you genuinely like and why?
It's always my favourite thing to bet on the player props personally.
Mm-hmm.
Drake May over 30.5 pass attempts is my favourite for this one. He's gone under in, let me just check, 5 straight games. But I see New England trailing for portions of this game. As I said in another part of this, if we think there's going to be points, and I don't think they can stop Seattle scoring 20 plus,
Mm-hmm.
I think inevitably May is going to have to throw the ball. And that's why I'm going for attempts and not completions.
Yeah.
Because they might be able to stop him making them, but I think he's going to have some drives because I just think he's that good. And they're going to have to put the ball in his hands.
Okay.
And added to that is the fact I think Seattle will probably manage to stop the running game. So sort of hand in hand with that, I'll go with under for Ramondre Stevenson. I think his rushing line is 50.5.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a bit high despite what he's done recently. Because I think Seattle will stop that. The game script's going to favour New England because they're going to be chasing the game the whole time. And they're going to have to have May dropping back or, he's going to have to put in a bit of a Superman performance to win, I think.
That's for sure. And what about any props that maybe feel overhyped? And sometimes for the Super Bowl, we really get some propsters like there's no way.
I think there's a few to choose from here. And this one is a little bit contradictory of my last answer, I'll admit. I've got Stephon Diggs, 43.5 receiving yards. I think he's a really hard player to price because he's had 300 or 400 yard games this year. He's gone under this in 4 straight, but he's been targeted 6 or fewer times in each of those games as well. So his role in the offense, people are taking him out of the game, and I just don't think he's looking to him as much. Seattle, 8th in EPA against the pass, 2nd in passes defended, and in the top 10 in completion percentage allowed. I think Diggs' name is what's like, I don't know where I'd put the line. Like if the line went lower, I'd say to bet the over.
Yeah.
So it's a difficult one, but you just look at his track, like what he's done over the last few games. I think that line's just a bit high. And I think it's because, to be honest, for more casual bettors and casual NFL fans, you look at that receiving core and there's one guy you probably know. There's one name that you recognize. That's not really how their offense has been going. It's not been Diggs being star because he's not that guy anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree with you there, especially since we can see that last year, for the Chiefs at least, none of the veterans really showed up.
Yeah. No, I think that sometimes, particularly when you get this bye week, it's the best defense in the NFL has 2 weeks to scheme for Stephon Diggs as the big name receiver. Like I think they're always scheming for a certain play. You see a lot of times in games, it's someone else who steps up, isn't it?
Exactly.
So I think that's why I quite look him elsewhere. If you're looking at like the second or third receivers like Collins and Doty, are more interesting prop wise.
Okay. So what's one game prop you think actually has value? For looking at total points, first half lines, or team totals. For example, the total in last year's game flew way over. But traditionally, this isn't really the case with Super Bowl matches. They're more under games historically. So are you expecting another high-scoring affair or all defenses out kind of deal?
I find it a difficult one because I could see this being like 15-10 or something, and it's just loads of sacks and loads of pressure quarterbacks. My prop I really like is one I've looked around a bit for this, but it's over 8.5 first quarter points total.
Oh, really?
So I appreciate it's a little niche. But with the Rams, these were 2 of the top 3 teams in first quarter offense in the regular season. Seattle was 28th in possession share in the first quarter of games. Bit of a mouthful, that one, actually. Seattle followed by possession. That's harder to say than I realised. And New England, they're going to be able to put points on the board if they're going to get the ball.
Yeah.
We've seen the Seahawks march down the field quite regularly in the first quarter. They've gone way over this line on their own in the first quarter of the last 2 games in the playoffs, Seahawks. And Yeah, it's quite possible the Seahawks do this. They get 10 points by themselves, and it's so nice. It's so easy to get a field goal now with the kickoff rules too.
Mm-hmm.
Seattle march down the field, get a touchdown. The Patriots, all it takes one Drake May throw, field goal, and we've hit the over. It just feels, with the defensive talent, feels like quite a good bet to me.
Yeah. Maybe some value there. Let's do a quick fun bet because it's the Super Bowl. Everyone loves the Super Bowl for that reason. So from the coin toss to Gatorade color, first song, halftime, national anthem length, we got a lot of choices here. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to look at some of the props and maybe choose one for fun.
I have to go for the Gatorade pick. I'm going blue Gatorade.
Blue.
Plus 270.
Blue.
There is a crumb of logic. 2 of the last 3 Patriots wins, they had blue Gatorade. Maybe the trouble is everything's changed there, so I don't know how much that. It's a different group of people. Blue is a Patriots color, and there was none in 3 of the Patriots 6 Super Bowls. So I don't know. Maybe Robert Kraft doesn't like people throwing Gatorade around. Who knows? And if there's none, the bet is void anyway. And
there you go.
The Seahawks, if they win, they wear blue. So yeah, 270. Blue's involved in the game. That's kind of my
All right. Well, that works because blue happens to be my favorite Gatorade color, but that's neither here nor there. All right, let's look at the trends for Super Bowl betting in general. So if you look at the history, what trends actually matter and which ones are just mostly noise?
I really like the against the spread. All winners cover against the spread pretty much. So in the 59 previous Super Bowls, 50 have covered the spread of the winners. And 2 have been a push, and only 7 have not covered.
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is favourites winning, so you just have smaller spreads. So it's kind of like, don't bother with the spread a lot of the time. Mm-hmm. Obviously, this is a slightly larger spread at 4.5. It was last time I checked.
Yeah.
But 14 of the last 15 Super Bowls have seen the winner cover the spread as well. So I just take that as they play it cautious with the spread in the Super Bowl. You also usually have relatively evenly matched teams. And in that case, just take the money line on one of them. So the other part I'm not as bothered trend-wise is the AFC has covered in 8 of the last 11. And it's just, I've seen that thrown around quite a bit in preview articles, social media, and all this. And it's just, well, that doesn't tell us anything. This Patriots team wasn't meant to be here. This Seahawks team wasn't meant to be here. So, like, the AFC, that's a lot of Brady and Mahomes in that period as well.
Right.
Okay, they've covered the spread. It doesn't mean anything about Drake May.
It's kind of out the window in this matchup. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, for your pick for the Super Bowl, who's going to win Super Bowl 60 and why? What's your final choice here?
I want to think of something outlandish about how the Patriots win, but I find it really hard.
It's kind of hard to imagine a reality happening, right?
But one of the decisive things for me actually was teams that have led the NFL in DVOA and defensive DVOA in the same season. That's happened 5 times in 40 years.
Wow.
4 of them have won the Super Bowl. And that's Seattle this time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like most people, my hesitancy was Darnold. Like, we saw he basically crumbled at the end of last season with the Vikings.
Yeah.
Like, all the sacks that he was just didn't seem to know what to do with the ball. And he's got that off his back completely. Like, obviously, didn't have to do much against the Niners, really, because they had the lead so early. But his performance against the Rams was like almost as good as it gets, really, for a quarterback. Mm-hmm. And that would have been my worry. As I said earlier, I think if they can pressure him, you think, well, maybe they can break that resilience somehow and he takes a step back. I just worry that's not going to happen for the Patriots. I think the Seahawks also stop the Pats running the ball, and that means May's going to have to do everything. Yeah. I think I think for them to win, it's like May throws for 300 and runs for 60 or something crazy.
Right. It really will need an MVP performance for him.
And yeah, it's a lot to ask. And the Seahawks got better receivers. They can stop the run. And Darnold looks more than competent. Mm-hmm. And it's just, there's quite a lot to overcome.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's do one final piece of advice for community here. What's the biggest mistake casual bettors make on Super Bowl Sunday, in your opinion?
I found this difficult. It was a bit of a toss-up for me.
Okay.
So I might cheat a little bit and pick two.
That's fine.
One is the parlays. I think that's always a thing for bettors. Is very exciting going for a parlay that's 50 to 1, and
you see the number go up.
Yeah, I think that bit is just very nature of them. And like we said, weird things happen in the Super Bowl. Everyone bets on Kelsey's receiving over last year or whatever, and then he's not in the game. So I think that's the main one, is people get distracted by that stuff and don't just think, oh, actually, maybe the value here is on the third string receiver to have 2 catches or something. My other bit is similar in a way, getting sucked in with the hype. And that can be in any direction. So at the moment, it's all the money seems to be going on Seattle from most sources. That seems to be what they're saying. And that doesn't mean you should definitely back the Patriots.
Right.
But it's also, and this is difficult because I've also just said I think Seattle will win. but in sometimes it's like, yeah, everyone's just getting carried away. There's a reason that some people choose to fade the public throughout the NFL season. Is not always the loudest pick that's the most successful. And often, you need to look outside the box. There's so much money being bet.
Yeah, and like you said, there's value in the Patriots still, like with May over 30.5 attempts. I mean,
yeah, or even if you do one of them make a parlay, it could be May over 30.5, Patriots plus 9.5, and then somehow you've got something that's a slightly longer odds if that's what you want.
Yeah.
So I think that's what I'd say is, people need to think outside the box a little bit more, particularly with this, because the prices move so much during when there's so much money going on the lines.
For sure. Yeah. Well, that wraps it up for us here. Thank you so much for taking time to be with us here today.
No problem. It's a pleasure.
We will see you on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yes. Cannot wait.
Thank you.